کنفرانس اعضای کنگره آمریکا از هر دو حزب در واشنگتن به مناسبت سالگرد انقلاب ضدسلطنتی، نه به دیکتاتوری شاه، نه به استبداد مذهبی، آری به جمهوری دموکراتیک.
سخنرانیها و پیام‌های 50 تن از اعضای کنگره در حمایت از یک ایران آزاد، جمهوری دموکراتیک و مبتنی بر جدائی دین از دولت با شرکت ایرانیان از 40 ایالت آمریکا.
گزیده ای از سخنرانیهای مایک گارسیا، لامالفا، بایرون دونالدز، تونی کاردیناس، گرگ پنس، ویلیام تیمونز، جان کرتیس و کریس استوارت. قسمت پنجم.
مایک گارسیا در سال 1357 مردم ایران با شجاعت و فداکاری برای پایان دادن به دیکتاتوری تک حزبی شاه به پا خاستند. حکومت تک حزبی شاه با دیکتاتوری آخوندها و فاشیسم مذهبی جایگزین شد.
It's been 43 years since the revolution, but the fight for rights and freedoms continues today. In 1979, the Iranian people stood up with bravery and sacrifice to end the Shah's single-party dictatorship. Unfortunately, they traded a Shah single-party rule for a mullah's theocracy and religious fascism. Since 1981, the regime has killed over 120,000 people for their political views. The mullahs stole the legitimacy of the revolution and made the environment in Iran even worse. The Iranian people have the same desire today for a democratic, multi-party system that they did 43 years ago. We saw this through the extensive boycott of the June 2021 elections and the continued uprisings by the people. I stand proudly today with the Iranian people in their pursuit of freedom from the tyrannical religious leaders, and I'm proud to honor them on this 43rd anniversary of the revolution.
لامالفا: ایران در یک نقطه عطف قرار دارد. با وجود نقض حقوق بشر، قتل عام و سرکوب توسط رژیم، جنبش مقاومت ایران در قوی ترین موقعیت خود قرار دارد. ابراهیم رئیسی باید به خاطر چندین دهه جنایت علیه بشریت محاکمه شود.
So as we know, for decades, Iran has been taking away the rights of their people by an oppressive and a corrupt dictatorship and the regime that's been in power for so long. So despite these human rights abuses, the massacres, and the state-sanctioned suppression of political demonstrators and speech, Iran's resistance movement is at its strongest ever. The Iranian people have taken up to the streets to fight for freedom of religion, political opinion, assembly, and a representative government. Iran is at a turning point, with tyrannical regime on one side and freedom on the other. So, in response to the Iranian people's deprivation of their fundamental freedoms, I've joined 250 of my colleagues in co-sponsoring H.R. 118. This bipartisan bill will condemn Iran's state-sponsored terrorism while supporting the Iranian people's desire for a democratic and non-nuclear Republic of Iran. Ibrahim Raisi must be removed from office and tried for his decades of crime against humanity. The people of Iran must have the right to determine their own future and to ensure that the rights of expression, religious belief, political opinion, and assembly are respected, just as we enjoy here in the United States. These are things that all people would love and enjoy. Even if they have a little different way of doing it from country to country, these are things in their hearts, I think, of all people on this earth.
بایرون دونالد قطعنامه 118 کنگره بر ضرورت یک جمهوری دموکراتیک مبتنی بر جدائی دین و دولت و غیر هسته‌ای تاکید می‌کند.
Hi, I'm Congressman Byron Donalds, and I proudly represent Florida's 19th Congressional District. I am a patriot, and I'm somebody who's a fighter for liberty all across the globe. And it is really my honor, and I believe it's my duty, to stand with all of the Iranian people across the globe who are still fighting for freedom and liberty in the Republic of Iran. I'm a proud co-sponsor of House Resolution 118, which is affirming the need to having a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Republic of Iran. It is important that the United States stand firm in solidarity with the Iranian people who just seek to be free, who want to have a government that's actually working for them, not one that's committed. We want an Iran, the same Iran that you want, one that lives in harmony and peace, not just for its people, but with its neighbors and with the global community. That's what I'm fighting for every day. And so I take this time to stand with you, the continued fight for freedom for all of the Iranian people, not just in Iran, but across the globe.
تونی کاردیناس کنگره آمریکا در کنار مردم ایران ایستاده است و از تغییرات دموکراتیک در ایران حمایت می کند.
As a proud co-sponsor of House Resolution 118, I wanted to let you know that you have my support and I stand with you for a free Iran. For 40 years, the Iranian regime has suppressed its people and exported its brand of fundamentalism and terrorism at every opportunity. For far too long, the Iranian people have been deprived of fundamental freedoms. The Iranian people deserve the right to vote, to be confident that their elections are free and fair, and to experience gender, religious, and ethnic equality. I join you to call for a democratic, secular, non-nuclear republic in Iran. The United States Congress has shown on many occasions that it stands with the Iranian people, and I'm so proud to be one of the members of Congress who has supported and will continue to support meaningful democratic change in Iran. A democratic country where the ballot is the standard and governance is the key to prosperity for Iranians and others in the entire region. So I want to thank you again for inviting me to address your conference, and I look forward to a day when we can celebrate a free and democratic Iran. Thank you so much.
گرگ پنس انقلاب 57 با رشادت‌ها و فداکاری‌های فراوان به سلطنت در ایران پایان داد. ما در واشنگتن از آرمان آزادی مردم ایران که توسط فاشیسم مذهبی غصب شده حمایت می‌کنیم.
I join the Iranian American community of Indiana today, which marks the anniversary of Iran's 1979 revolution. This revolution ended the monarchy in Iran with tremendous bravery and sacrifice. This month, I stand with the Iranian American communities across Indiana and the nation in recommitting the cause of freedom that was usurped by religious fascism ruling Iran. That is why myself and 180 of my Republican colleagues co-sponsored H-Res 118, standing on the side of the Iranian people. This resolution stands against the tyranny of religious rulers who have brought nothing but death and destruction to the Iranian people, the region, and beyond. The Iranian people have been deprived of their fundamental freedoms by a dictatorship government and religious tyranny. We must and will continue to stand with you all. Here in Washington, we will continue to support the Iranian people. And I want to thank you all, and we will continue to advocate for the rights of the Iranian people here in Congress.
ویلیام تیمونز: آزادی و دموکراسی در ایران دستیافتنی است. مردم آمریکا از ایران آزاد حمایت می‌کنند.
I'm pleased to join you today to express my support for a democratic and secular Iran. I believe the Iranian people should determine the future of Iran, and I support their desire to end the tyranny and establish a democracy in Iran. This is why I'm proud to co-sponsor House Resolution 118, a resolution before Congress that expresses support for the Iranian people's desire for a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Republic of Iran, and condemns violations of human rights and state-sponsored terrorism by the Iranian government. We should all condemn Iranian state-sponsored terrorism and its use of diplomatic privileges to inflict harm on innocent people around the world. Freedom and democracy in Iran is achievable, and I commend you as you stand strong against tyranny. Thank you for inviting me to speak with you on the anniversary of the 1979 Revolution for Freedom in Iran. The American people support a free Iran.
جان کرتیس: من در کنار مردم ایران و مبارزه آنها برای برقراری جمهوری دموکراتیک ایستاده‌ام.
I'd like to speak today in support of the Iranian people. The Iranian people have been deprived of their fundamental freedoms by an oppressive government. In November and December 2019, popular protests against the Iranian regime began and rapidly spread to at least 100 cities throughout the country. In response, Iran's rulers shut down access to the internet and proceeded to kill approximately 1,500 people. Following this move to shut down the internet, I joined Representative McCall to introduce a bill to codify the Open Technology Fund, the program used to restore internet access to Iran so the outside world could see what was happening. I stand with the people of Iran who are continuing to hold legitimate and peaceful protest against an oppressive and a corrupt regime, and I recognize the rights of the Iranian people and their struggle to establish a democratic, secular Republic of Iran. Thank you.
کریس استوارت: انقلاب 57 تلاشی برای آزادی و حقوق بشر در ایران بود. مبارزه و مقاومت از آن زمان تا کنون ادامه داشته است. ما به همراه شما می جنگیم و از شما حمایت می کنیم.
Hey, Congressman Chris Stewart here from Utah. I want to thank all of you who are involved in any way to help bring democracy and freedom to the good people of Iran. As you know better than I do, February marks the anniversary from 1979 where these real efforts to try to bring, again, freedom and human rights protections to the Iranian people took place. The fight has gone on since then. Obviously, we've had some steps forward, but some pretty meaningful and painful steps back as well. That's one of the reasons I'm supporting H.R. 118, which condemns the human rights abuses in Iran. It recognizes Iran as a state sponsor of terrorism. It's an effort to highlight and to bring pressure on the leadership in Iran that is denying these basic rights to their own people. We've had many incidences since then in which the Iranian people have tried to rise up, tried to call for these protections for themselves, for their families, for their children. 1988, the massacre. In 99, in 09, in 2017. Thank you for having the courage to support the people of Iran. We fight with you. We want to support you. God bless you. Thank you.